Yesterday we had some crazy news about the Switch and a lot of video game stuff with Sony and them canceling Blue Point's next God of War game and all that. But today we are going to talk about all the news that came from Nintendo's reveal of the Switch 2. So if you missed it yesterday, which I'm sure you didn't, Nintendo released a video reveal of the Switch 2, just showcasing what it will look like, some of the features that we can expect, and even a game that we saw being played on the render. But we'll see how it is in April, and I'll get into that. And from the looks of it, it is really a successor of the Switch. It actually feels like more of a teen version or a more mature version of what the Switch was originally, which makes a lot of sense compared to all the kids that bought the system in 2017 versus now 8 years later, which is kind of insane. But if you think about it, like a 15-year-old kid that got the Switch on launch day or in that year is now 23, 24, or 22 or something. We can see it like the more industrial design with the full black casing and the accents of the kind of salmonish red and the blue like inside the Joy-Cons and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool concept of what they're doing with the Joy-Cons. They don't have the rails like they originally have in the first Switch. It has more of a magnetic mechanism to it where it kind of clips on. You see in the video that kind of just clips together with the console and the Joy-Cons. And one rumor that I didn't really know would become true is the mouse feature or the cursor feature on the Joy-Cons. And we don't really see it displayed in this trailer or reveal, but we do get a sense of them using the Joy-Cons in a mouse-like style where they lay it flat and then it drags down in the reveal trailer. But it doesn't really show you what it's doing, but I feel like it's there for a reason. The trailer and Nintendo are very deliberate of what they market, especially with their console. Overall, just looking at the Switch first impression, just really looks good. It's 15-20% bigger. It still has a bit of a bezel, which is, I know, a lot of people's complaints of the first one, and they kind of reduced that bezel with the OLED Switch, but I feel like it's still prominent there, even more than the OLED Switch. I don't think a lot of people are too worried about that. It's obviously a little bit of an annoyance because of the OLED Switch and that bezel and screen ratio. I also like the curvature of the Joy-Cons of it. It feels like more ergonomics on your hand and less like a box. But I want to see if they utilize the Joy-Cons more like separately. Obviously we have the mouse feature. I want to see if how that is implemented in the Switch. And we have a new dock, and that's something that I want to see more of internally. We'll get more of it in April, which they will give hands-on to everyone that signs up, or we'll hear about it through journalists or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a direct. Yes, there is going to be a direct on this first week of April that will showcase everything about the Switch 2, probably a release date, launch window titles, probably battery life, and all the internals and stuff like that. So look forward to that. We see a release date and a price and all that good stuff before we pre-order it in a couple weeks or a couple months. The only game that we see that's being played with this render on the Switch 2 is a Mario Kart game. We don't know if it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or it's a new one. A lot of people are speculating a brand new Mario Kart 9 game, and that would be crazy awesome because Mario Kart 8 is a Wii U game, which is insane. insane. So that game might be the second biggest like selling game ever, besides like GTA 5. I'm thinking, because that game's been around forever, and a lot more people are buying it because of the Switch, and a lot of people bought it before on the Wii U side. So it's kind of crazy that we're talking about a new Mario Kart game, but I'm all for it. It's been a long time since they released a brand new one with like new mechanics and characters, but even though they do update a deluxe with DLC and stuff like that. But I want to see a new mechanic, something like a double dash, not the same thing, but that free form imagination of game mechanics for what Mario Kart is in 2025 or beyond. And from the trailer, it does say that most games, physical and digital, will be backwards compatible with the Switch 2. Now there are some exceptions, and I'm sure that they're working through that. I'm thinking that we'll have like a boosted mode for those older games. But yeah, it's cool that they are bringing backwards compatible games to the Switch 2, just so they don't have to rely on selling new games. And it seems like there's going to be more units on launch day. For the first Switch, it sold around 15-ish million, I think, in its first 3 quarters. They are going to up the Switch 2's production till like 20 million units for the first year, I think. And that was reported by Bloomberg. That's just, it makes so much sense. The Switch was really novel when it came out. The first time that we could bring an actual console around with us, and it just like paved the way for like a bunch of new gamers, new technology for like cloud gaming, and just all everything that we know from handheld gaming is from Nintendo, and they've been building off that since the Game Boys. It's kind of incredible. You know, at the beginning it was kind of hard to sell just a normal person on the streets who don't really know video games just to sell on that. I think over time a lot more people just talked about how cool the Switch is, how cool just taking a whole console you could play on your TV, taking it out and play it on the bus. It was kind of something that no one really thought about until the Switch came out. And then of course it became this huge thing after a year, and it just makes sense now that a lot more non-gamers that know about the Switch are gonna climb onto the Switch 2 hype, even though they don't play a lot of games. Earlier in the video I mentioned a direct in the first week of April 2nd to be precise, that will showcase all the necessary things that we want to know about the Switch 2. What the Joy-Cons would do, what are the prices of the Joy-Cons itself, the console, the release date, all the launch window games, and battery life. There's a lot to know that we're kind of anticipating a real huge upgrade from the Switch 1, which can't be that hard because it's a really old system, and they were using old internals even before then. It's a outdated piece of tech for sure. Right before the direct and later on into the month, they are going to give hands-on of the Switch 2 to public people. It has to be signed up with your Nintendo account. It's free obviously, but you do have to sign up at certain locations. There's one in New York, Toronto, and I forgot the other ones, but those are the 2 ones that I know of. I'm really excited of the next generation of Nintendo console and games, but I'm really hoping that they can deliver the types of experiences that they have been in the past couple of years. So that's going to be it for me for today, and I hope everyone is loving the announcements, what the Switch looks like. It looks really awesome, and hopefully the there are some questions that you're asking that will be revealed on the direct. What do you guys think of the review trailer? Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.